Hello, welcome to the virtual Sunday service of the Journey Within Spiritualist Church in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. And I am Dr. Ellen Shander from the Journey Within, and I'll be hosting today's service. With us today, we have Mitch Shirley from England, who we're so happy to have back and welcome you. And he's going to be doing the address and the demonstration of mediumship. So welcome. As we are a spiritualist church, we begin our service with spiritual healing, conducted virtually, as our healers are with us today. If you'd like to request healing for someone, please type their first name and the first initial of their last name for privacy. If you wish, you can also add your pets or some of the global uncertainty. We will open with prayer, followed by a period of quiet meditation. If you'd like to participate in the healing, just please quiet yourself, focus on your breathing, and as you inhale, feel yourself boosting your own immune system and igniting the inner healing within. Please join me in prayer. Dear God, we join together in prayer, asking for healing for all of our brothers and sisters who are suffering and in need of healing. We ask that their suffering be eased in some way. We also pray for healing of the minds and hearts of all people, and may we learn to be kinder, gentler, and more compassionate. May we learn to see your beauty within ourselves, within all living things, and within all your creation. May we learn to honor our own thoughts and actions, and may we learn to be ambassadors for healing while we walk this earth, and especially healing and peace to all corners of the earth where there is war and suffering. May peace prevail. As we come to the end of our healing, we will continue to remember and pray for those who are suffering and who are in need of healing. Amen. And let all of the wonderful love that we've created today in community just evolve further and further out onto the planet. If you'd like to request healing for anyone during the week, please call the church or email and tell us the names, and we'll forward them to our healers, and they will be prayed for healing in the weeks and months to pass. And thank you to all the healers. So welcome again, everyone, and to everyone from all of the different parts of the planet who come and join us today. Many people come from different countries, and we really welcome you. So today it's again Dr. Ellen Shander. I'm hosting the service, and it's with great pleasure that we invite Mitch Shirley to join us for the opening prayer. And let me just tell you a little bit about him first. Mitch began his service to Spirit by taking church services and working with Paul Jacobs in Switzerland, as well as teaching at the Longden Church. To receive the help and support, he needed to work on the evidence and surely to give those who were searching for answers. This started in 1995, and since then, many hours of linking with the power of God and loved ones, returning to establish that they have survived physical death, and that has followed him certified as an advanced grief recovery specialist for Grief Recovery Method Institute. This work helps Mitch help everyone with any loss in their lives and gives them the tools and help to recover from their losses. So again, we welcome you and invite you to open this service in prayer. We will play a song for you and then enjoy your address. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Divine Spirit, you gather us together this day to share in communication, to blend the power and energy and love that we all possess, to help it to build into a greater power, a power that can be used, that can move this world, that can move souls within this world. But most importantly, it elevates us to the best that is within us, so that we may make a difference, we may create beauty, kindness, and bring love into this world so that it emanates from us, so that we can bring a smile which will help to take the tear away. But it is important that we realize that our tears do not need to be apologized for. We should not say, "I'm sorry," when we show the emotion and the effect of how our love needs to be expressed, how we care for this world, for our loved ones, for our pets, for all aspects of our life. You are the grand architect, but we are the designer of our life. And with that opportunity, we create, we shape. We do not need to allow others to shape our lives. It is our responsibility to bring our soul to manifest upon this earth the greatness and beauty which is within all of us, and to bring light into this world, to shine light where there are places of darkness, to stand within that light and accept who we are and what we need and want to change within ourselves and within our lives. And you give us the strength to manifest that on this earth. And we thank you, Father, and we thank you for this opportunity to come together today to bring hope, to bring an understanding, and to bring love throughout the service. Amen.
So with great pleasure, we invite Mitch Shirley to share his address. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As I briefly said when I first came online, there was many different aspects that I considered and thought would be appropriate for today. And we'll just see what comes out of the melting pot, because I never know. And for me, that's something that I'm very comfortable in. It's something that I've become comfortable in throughout my life in lots of different areas. That within business, people who worked with me and for me used to say, you just have to trust him, relax, and let him do it. And then we'll see what happens. Because I don't know. But that also means that I'm open to any possibility. I'm open to considering different points of view. Now, there are many times that I will listen to what people have to say, and my original thoughts, understanding, may be completely opposed to what someone has to say. But I do believe it's important. In lots of ways, it's important that we actually listen and hear things that do cause us to question, to be offended, to be overwhelmed emotionally. Because if we stay within a safe little place, how are we going to grow? How are we going to make a difference? And how are we going to grow the life that is going to be seen as an example to our friends, to our children, to our parents, siblings. How do we grow? By making mistakes, by being prepared to do something rather than sit on our hands. We use them. We try to create. And that's that God-given ability within all of us. Because within all of us, in my experience, there is a divine spark. And that divine spark is the Spirit that binds each and every one of us. And within that spark is that aspect that touches each of us and binds us with God, the divine. And that energy that powers our soul, that allows us to manifest in this world the best within us. Now, to me, that's wow. When I truly stop for a moment and take that split second that it takes to connect and disconnect from this physical world, but to actually connect with the purity, with the spirit, with the soul, to bind that together and allow it to be expressed in a moment. Because in reality, this earth life is a series of moments that we either take, dismiss, or fear being who we are. Because so much of life is based around fear. Fear of not being in that moment, of not being true to ourselves, of allowing the conditioning that we have experienced in our life to shape us to not do something. And throughout my life, I've been either pretty determined or pretty dumb, because I have repeated things and I have done things that people have said to me, you won't be able to do that. You can't do that. Oh, okay. I just say, I haven't done it yet. If I repeat it in the same way, at the same time, with the same amount of energy, with the same amount of effort and thought and planning, and all the conditions are the same, then that, by definition, is madness, because I'm repeating exactly the same thing. I will get the same outcome. So I have to be prepared to change something. I have to be prepared to accept that I may be wrong in the way that I'm doing something. And for so many of us, it's incredibly difficult, and has been for me. Because it's not that I believe that I am always right. It's that I can only know my reason for doing it. And I can never, ever know someone else's 100% why somebody chooses to do something. But that may affect the outcome of what my efforts have been. But I'm the same as everybody else. I'm no different. I may have the ability to work as a medium, but that doesn't mean that my life is any easier. it doesn't mean that I get a free pass on certain things. It means that I need to experience all that life has and that I am able to experience in a lifetime so that I can use that to actually say to others, you know, we can overcome this. We can do better. We are better than sometimes the decisions or choices that we make. But that doesn't make us a bad person. We may make poor choices. But actually, when you look back over it, why did somebody make those choices? In trying to be more understanding of ourselves, surely we'll become more understanding towards others. And for me, that is the beauty of gaining age. Because putting the extra cladding on around the body doesn't do me any good. And the joints getting a little bit more worn out, I don't feel as though that does me any good. So there has to be an advantage to living longer. And that it gives me an opportunity to be a more understanding person. And that's as important about myself as it is about others. But it's also important that I still do things that are new, that are a different idea. And then the next few years, there are some significant birthdays coming up with myself and my wife. I'll say she'll probably kill me anyway, but next year she's 60. And the year after, I'm 60. And the year after that, we've been married 40 years. So I've been contemplating, what should we do? Where could we go? Who could we visit? What experiences could we have that would really be markers in our life to say at those significant hurdles, we did something. We took the opportunity rather than retreating back and going, I'm this age. I'm this young. What have I got to come? What can I make? Because I have all this experience, but I have so much more to learn. It's never ending. Life is full of opportunities. It's all about the perception and the ability within ourselves to go, no, I'm not going to take what others tell me is the right thing to do. I'm going to do what feels right in my soul. I'm going to do what makes me happy, a better person, a more loving person, a person who's able to actually process and deliver greatness, because we're all capable of that. We just don't necessarily define it in the right way. We talk of sports people as being great politicians, though I must admit I'm sort of scratching around to find one at this moment in time. But that's enough on the politics. We'll leave that alone. But it is that thing that people talk about others about being great. We often refer to others, is this great, this. But we all do great things. Because great things are not just big. Great things are loving, caring, most importantly, living and listening. Truly listening to another person, giving them that space to express who they are without us offering any judgment, but just allowing them to start an end. There are times, whether currently or in our lives, where we probably struggle to get to 20 seconds before we've got to say something. But to actually listen to somebody express, we look at our environment, their grief, their loss, to truly express that. And in some cases, this has been buried for decades. And it changes people. And it weighs us down. And the pain wears us out. But we can change that. We can change how we function, how we be as a person, by understanding how and why our grief affects us. And this is one aspect, and this is why both Kath and myself, we did undertake the course and the studying to understand ourselves that little bit more, and then be able to help others to understand themselves that little bit more, to then be able to be that little bit more, to be that little bit brighter, to feel not as sharp a pain, to have positive, loving memories come back to them because they've been drowning in the end of someone's life, or how somebody passed, or what they no longer have the opportunity to do. To go and take that, because it's always going to be part of you. To move that forward with you as you move forward, but also bring all those memories. Last year, my father passed, and there's one memory that came back to me, and I hadn't thought about it for many, many years. And it was thoughts to do with my childhood, and there've been lots of different things that came back about the different moments that I loved. Playing bits of sport with my dad. Loved it. Absolutely thrilled. But to actually find humour in different situations, lots of wonderful memories of different things that we did as a family. But one memory that actually for me identifies how life's never all planned out. They had a race for the kids to get on the donkey derby, and they got these betting slips so as to raise a bit of money for charity on this holiday camp. And you draw whichever donkey you're going to go on. So my dad was absolutely chuffed to mimples when I drew the fastest donkey. One of the things that you wouldn't necessarily put in a sentence, but I got the fastest donkey of the 6 that were going to race. It won every single race. My dad was absolutely chuffed to bits. So he placed his money to bet, thinking, yes, I'm going to win this. So within about 20 yards, this donkey is it's left everything. And we have this half-moon circuit, and I'm hanging on for dear life. By the time we reach the halfway, I'm hanging round the front of the donkey as the saddle slipped, and I've gone straight round, and I'm face to face with this donkey. At which point, I slipped off, and I heard my dad go, "Oh no!" as I'm crashed to the floor, and the donkey then runs all over me, and all the other donkeys run all over me as I'm trying to get off this area of grass. And my dad decides to blame me. It was my fault. I could have hung on. I said, but the saddle slipped. He says, you were round its neck. You could have hung on. But in reality, that's one person's view, because of something that he wanted. I was hanging on for dear life. Luckily, I came off and I wasn't. I went, "Oh, I'm okay, by the way, Dad. I haven't got any bruises or scratches or anything. I'm okay." "Yeah, no, I'm glad you're all right." 2 minutes later, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have been that." But that's that reaction at the time. And that's that thing. If we can take that into our lives, that when somebody reacts at that moment, and it's something that is not what we want or would want for someone else, if we can just take in that moment a breath and ask the question, why? Why did they behave that way? It would then maybe temper our response so that we may be able to get to a positive place with something. And that's the same with our grief and our losses. That when someone cries, and when somebody says, "I'm sorry for crying," please tell them, "Don't be." Those tears are important because the recognition of the love that you have and that you have shared should never be apologized for. Never, ever. And allow somebody to cry and allow somebody to express their love that they have for somebody from beginning to end, because it is, as it should be, life-changing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mitch. It's always a pleasure to hear you speak. Your words of wisdom and compassion and all of the wisdom that you have in it, inviting us to be great and all of those things. We love your personal stories as well. Thank you so much. As you can see, all the hearts are going up on the screen. We have almost 100 people here today, and your words, I know, touched everybody. And it's always with a bit of reluctance that I have to change the scene, but we will have your words with us all week. So it is time for our collection and our announcement. There are 2 boxes on the screen. One is for donations, and the other is if you'd like to become a member of the center. We'll get announcements. So we appreciate any donations at this time. And if you'd like to donate, you can click the box or donate through our website or check. And we're grateful for all donations, great and small. There is God, and there is always, of course, bills to pay. So thank you so much for all of that. And I'd like to share with you announcements. So if you are in the area, we would love to have you at 10 a.m. at our in-person service at the Journey Within in Pompton Lakes. And if you come, it's a great service, but there's also coffee, tea, and desserts afterwards. So we'd love to have you. And as well as this service every Sunday online for all of our friends around the world. And of course, there's a Sunday evening service online at 6:30, and Wednesday is our healing service at 7:30. So we have lots of things to invite you to, and please join our community. For announcements, there's the first and third Wednesdays of the month, a community meditation with Eugenia Bushman, and all of this is on our website. You don't have to memorize it, just to entice you. February 12th, Enhancing the Mediumist Connection with Judith Seaman. And there's also demonstrations of mediumship with advanced students on Monday, once a month. Also online, February 14th, Evidential Private Readings Workshop with Simone Key. February 15th, The Power and the Presence of the Soul with Judy Seaman begins. February 17th, excuse me, this must have made me sneeze because it's about angels. February 17th, Angels, Guides, in the Afterlife with Kevin Todici. February 18th, The Heart Bath for Better Mediumship with Pamela Meredith. And February 23rd, Friday evening online at 7 p.m. I believe it's a demonstration of mediumship with Pastor Joe, myself, and Lori Sheridan. March 3rd and 10th, the Confidence Clinic with Pamela Meredith. March 6th, I'm almost done. Spiritual Assessment Workshop with Simone Key. March 8th, the Understanding and Delivering a Spiritual Address with Christine Morgan from Australia. March 11th is a demonstration of mediumship, again with the advanced students. March 14th, being a pet's medium with Lillian Steiner. March 15th, demonstration of mediumship online with Pastor Joe, Bonnie Grossman, and Laura Wooster. March 16th, Edgar Casey on family karma with Kevin Tojichi. Now, in person at the Journey Within. Next Sunday, beginning February 18th in person, there's mediumship development classes with our own Pastor Joe, the first and third Sundays of each month. It's online. You'll see it. February 25th, the Heart Bath for Better Mediumship with Pamela Meredith. And the same day, February 25th at 12 noon at the Journey Within, there'll be a demonstration of mediumship with Pastor Joe, Dawn Pfeiffer, and myself, Ellen Chander. So that are all the announcements. I'm not going to test you with all the things I said, but please go to our website because everything is there and you can pick and choose. And if you are joining a course, please join early so we know how many people are coming. Now we're going to have demonstration of mediumship. As a spiritualist church, we do believe in the continuity of life. And as the medium brings forth a body of evidence of a deceased loved one, and you can take 90% of what's been said in the exact way that the medium says it, no changing uncle to mom, please. Please raise your digital hand, usually located at the bottom of the screen. And I would really love it if some people could just go to the bottom where it says reactions and raise your hand. Ah, great. 3 people did that. Thank you so much. Means it works, which is great. Thank you. That's great. Okay. If you really can't raise your hand and you need to recognize your loved one, please type me in the chat box. We hope that doesn't happen today. And if you do raise your hand, I will unmute you so that you can speak. So we welcome this part of the service. I'm going to play a piece of music just to set the mood. And please sit back and just feel your loved ones around you. Please join us in our message prayer. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you. Right. I'm just figuring out who's going to go first because I'm aware of 2 people. Right. I am aware of a lady, and it does feel to me as though I have Mum, as I am aware of this lady. And I do feel with Mum as though she was very proud of her hair, because what I'm aware of is headscarves and rollers, something that I've never personally needed, but she's making me aware. But what I'm aware of is these scarves were never dull. They were always bright. And in lots of ways, this represented Mum's outlook, a positive outlook on life. And she was somebody who would have been a great supporter. But I also feel as though she, at the end of her life, the brightness was taken from her. And I feel as though the last 6 months of her life, she was almost in a shell of the lady that she had been all the previous parts of her lives. And this last 6 months is something that was quite significant, because there would have been birthdays within that period. I feel that would have been her children's birthdays, and she would not have been able to actually take part in the celebrations of those birthdays. And that's something that always mattered to Mum when she was physically here.
We have one hand.
That'll do. That's what we're aiming for.
Would you like to hear her?
Please.
So, Carice, you can unmute.
I think I got it now.
Okay. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
So you can understand with Mum when I talk about the hair and the rollers and these bright head scarves that she would have worn.
Absolutely. I just
Right.
donated a bunch.
Oh, okay, right, okay. So that's the relevance and the significance there, because I knew that it was. I don't want anything dull, and it's got to be bright, and it was an expression of her personality.
Absolutely.
Because we often talk about people shining brightly, and I spoke earlier about manifesting on this earth, and your mum took that as a role in her life to actually be a creator of an environment for those that she loved
Yes.
to go forward. You understand that?
Yep.
Okay, because it's important that I use those words as well about going forward. Your mum was a firm believer in that, not staying stuck in what has happened and taking it. Your mum was never a victim. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Because no matter what happened to her, she was never going to let it define her.
Yes.
And that's why I know that I take it forward. It is part of who I am. I accept that. It's not, in many cases, it's not what I want to happen to me. And I don't want, in particular, where the loss of loved ones, it meant so much to your mum, and she grieved 100%. She shed tears without remorse. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And I know that you've been holding back shedding tears recently.
Well, probably.
But the reason why I'm saying that is that you've been trying to juggle and keep everybody else going, and in that sense trying to emulate your mum and trying to manage other people. But I'm aware here that your mum was also somebody who was able to galvanize others to come together. Do you
Yes.
understand? And this is what she's wanting to bring forward, these aspects of herself to actually help you in your life now. She's working to galvanize others within the spirit world, but they've got to meet you halfway. And I just feel as though you need to let that little bit of help in from others physically here as well. Do you understand that?
Yes. Thank you.
Because she's quite forthright, but in a positive, gentle way, if that makes sense. She's not telling you you've got to do it. She just wishes that you would, for you, because she wants to take you through this hurdle that's there within your life. And you would also understand this period of time before she passed. There's like this 6 months before she passed where she was not able to be as engaged in life as she wishes. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And what I am aware of now, and it's important that your mum was interested in what people were doing, but she didn't want to know all the ins and outs about their life. She wasn't nosy, as we say in this country. She wasn't nosy in that way. She was interested in what was happening, but she didn't need to know everything.
Right.
And what I'm aware of, the reason what she's bringing that aspect up is by saying to you, we don't always need to know everything to be able to do what feels right. So I
Yes.
feel that's relevant with a decision that you have to make, and that's your mum's way of expressing it, because she was, anything that was private was private. It was an individual thing. And if you told her something and asked her not to say it, she wouldn't say it. and you knew you could trust her.
Yes.
And that's what she's just wanting to get across here. Trust yourself like you trusted me.
Thank you.
Okay. And it's important that those building blocks that you will put in place, she will support you.
Thank you.
Okay. But it's important that you have to put them in place. That's what she wants to get across.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Right. I am aware of a gentleman, and I want to use the term gentleman because I was aware of the previous lady and also this gentleman. And he was like, no, ladies first. And it does feel to me as though it is Dad, as I'm aware of it. And as I'm also aware of him, I feel what I'm seeing, but what I feel, wait, I'm seeing stripes on the arm, and I feel as though I have somebody who would have attained the rank of sergeant, but I feel as though it's a rank even above that, but it's within that striped, and it's on my left arm that I need to wear this, because that seems to be quite important. But my left arm, but I also feel, as it does feel to me like it is Dad, as I'm aware with this gentleman, I also feel as though he would have either had some accident or something, or maybe even a stroke later in life that would have affected the left-hand side of my body, because that's why I just keep wanting to go to my left arm. So can someone understand that, please?
Not yet.
As I say, I do feel as though it was within the arm. I feel as though I'm going back with this. I feel that I would have served either in the Second World War or in Korea, because I feel as though it's 40s, 50s, that sort of period of time that I'm going back to with this service. And I also am aware of the name of James that would link to Dad and also to the recipient.
I do have I have two people.
Okay.
Like, I have one person, sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's.
So, Annette, would you like to hear her?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Annette.
Sorry.
Hello there. The left arm you're talking, he was in the service. In the left arm, you're talking about a propeller caught it and it was able to put it back together. But
because I just kept wanting to go, and you understand the rank. This was important.
Unfortunately, I don't remember that. The boys would, but I don't.
Okay. Because I just feel as though you'd understand that with your dad, that he was the sort of man who, when we say about command respect, he did it by his actions as opposed to just telling people to just do what I say. Do you understand that?
Absolutely, yes.
Because that was important to him, that he had the ability to carry people with him.
Yes.
But I'm also aware that not only within his actions, but also in the words and the way that he spoke, there was compassion, but belief when he spoke.
Yes.
And I'm also aware that he wouldn't waste words. Okay, this is part of your dad's humor coming through. He wouldn't waste words on those that weren't worth wasting them on. And that's his polite way of saying how we view people.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Right, okay. Because it's like, he understood that everybody was equal in the sight of God.
Yes.
Okay? However, some people, in his view, chose to waste that equalness.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the way that I've got to put it. Would waste that equalness, and he would help somebody if he felt that they were prepared to meet him halfway, they were prepared to put the work in and effort in, and not just expect to click the fingers and things just fall into place.
I have to think about that, but probably.
Okay. All
I
right.
just
The
prefer
reason why I'm
giving.
saying that, I just feel as though your dad wouldn't do everything for somebody and go, there you go, it's done, because it wouldn't
Yes,
serve a purpose. They wouldn't gain anything from it, and they wouldn't learn anything from it.
yes, yes,
And a firm believer in, and even especially in adversity, that's when we learn the most about ourselves
yes.
and how we are going to overcome things. And not that I'm painting a dark and cloudy picture for you, and I'm just going to flip, but he's just wanting me to make me aware that, you, though you understand it, sometimes we just all need a little communication that gives us a little bit of evidence which just confirms what we've been aware of, and the fact of that you've been aware of communication from your dad in 3 different ways. You've had it in sleep state, you've had it in thought, but you've also had like a sign, and I feel as though it's to do with nature.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine, because he just wanted to confirm that, because you've sent the thought out, am I right? Because I'm not saying it's totally left field what's going on and what you're looking to do, but it's something that has a newness to you.
Yep.
And he wants very much to encourage you. Your intent is the important thing, and that was always important to your dad, and that's what he wants to salute: your intent and your endeavor and your persistence. He greatly appreciates your persistence, because that it will benefit. We talk about doing things that are going to benefit others better than ourselves, and that's where I feel that he wants to acknowledge that with you and for you.
Wonderful.
All right.
I've just started back teaching again, so thank you.
And just remember that he wasn't always right. Okay, and he's just booked a little quote that one of my uncles, who again he served for many years in the army, and he used to say, and I will slow it down, because he used to say it in a broad local accent, and most people would be like, "What the hell's he just said?" And he used to say, "It isn't often you're right, but you're wrong again." All right, and there's something else in there. I know that he's laughing about, and that, but that's the type of the way your dad would be. You were never sure until he got to the end of the sentence whether it was going to be a backhanded compliment or not.
Yep. Thank you.
So thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much, Mitch. This concludes our demonstration of spirit communication. It's a pleasure to have your beautiful mediumship, beautiful to see and to experience, because as 2 people got messages, we know that everybody has people on the other side who are still present. So
Thank you
we
very much.
thank you so much. And we're going to invite you to end the service in prayer. And then please, everybody, stay for the closing song. Thank you.
Infinite Spirit, thank you for this opportunity to come together in this time, to blend our love and energy together to create this opportunity. Let us go from this place. Let us make a difference in this world. Let us be that little bit kinder, that little bit more loving, that little bit more generous, to recognize with gratitude what we have had, not what we have lost, but the beauty and the fact that we have had it, and that we have learned from this life, and know that we will continue to learn. But let us also be a lesson for others. Let us be the best that we can be. and therefore allow your master plan to manifest on this earth. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. So please enjoy our closing song and have a magnificent and heartwarming week. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It's really been a pleasure, and especially to Mitch, Shirley. Thank you so much. We welcome you to come back anytime. So have
Thank
a
you very
wonderful
much. I've really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
have a wonderful week, everyone. Be safe. Thank you.